Hey everyone, welcome back to Spoiler Alert. I'm Sean, your host, and it is the most wonderful time of the year, and by that I mean Halloween time. So wanted to welcome everyone back, and I especially want to welcome Alana. Alana, how you doing?
Thanks, Sean. Good. Halloween is a fun time. It's not quite Halloween in America though, here in Australia. So we need to get on your level. But yeah, looking forward to chatting about what's going to happen this update, seeing as we know our players love our Halloween content. So let's get into it, Sean. What have we got?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had a couple of amazing updates in the past for Halloween, and this year is no exception. So stranger things are happening in Need for Speed No Limits this Halloween. Prepare yourself for thrills, chills, and spills as you race to earn the 2021 Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series with its haunting limited time wrap, and test your limits of skill and sanity in our special event, Doppelgänger. Ooh, super spooky. So, horrible nightmares, visions of Viscera, uncanny allies, and the chance to earn this car, all coming to you in this special event. Here to talk to us about it, our return to the Halloween horrors in Need for Speed No Limits, Matt, designer for Need for Speed. Matt, how you doing?
Yeah, so happy to be here. Hyped for some Halloween goodness.
Yes, we're so excited to have you on, Matt, and thank you for joining us today. So you are the person behind the storyline and the horror side of things for our update that's coming up. So we wanted to ask you, this story has a lot of horror inspiration, as we are doing for Halloween, and it's a little bit Close Encounters, a little bit Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So how did you go about creating the storyline for this episode?
So this started, I believe, as a joke, which is, I think, where I sort of enjoy that tends to be my way in, and then sort of found the drama of it. But the joke was that there's a beloved character, a big Spuddy, and some of the other designers, Jean-Claude, who features in this event, and the idea was, as sort of brainstorming all these different Halloween feels and vibes for the update, was what if there was a clone, that classic cliche clone scenario where you have a gun and you have to point it at one of the two, which one's the real one, and just having what would JC do in that, what would JC's clone say, and the thought was, well, he'd advocate for you shooting both just to be safe. It's the only way, that sort of like stupidity that wraps around back to being smart. So that was the original inspiration for it. And then with the amazing art team that we have, just looking at all of these cool old B-movie posters, and once had that original hook of the idea of, this Invasion of the Body Snatchers style event, it kind of just wrote itself. It was so much fun to write.
So how excited were you? So Jean-Claude, he's featured in a bunch of our other Halloween stuff. He's kind of a favorite. He's a fan favorite, but he's also a Need for Speed No Limits favorite character. So how excited were you to kind of put him through the insanity of Halloween this year?
Oh, just so excited. I mean, he's just he's a fun character, and I think the fans sort of resonate with him too. Just because I think for No Limits, and for the sort of the world of, especially for the world in general, but also in the sort of bottle episodes that we get for these seasonal occasions, you can have sort of these crazier storylines where you can have more serendipity and the ways that you would fix things with a little bit of Deus Ex Machina, and he sort of slots into that setting so well in this sort of tragic comedy, just because he himself is like out. I think when I was first getting into, even before I started working here, when I was getting into Need for Speed No Limits and looking at the lore, and I was trying to understand all the characters and understand the storylines, I found Jean-Claude on the wiki, and on the fan wiki, and he had like one line of entry for him, which was Jean-Claude is stupid beyond belief, which is such a gift for a writer, to have a character that is sort of just so dumb that they're almost like smart, and that somehow they're important in this setting as well. It's so fun. But yeah. Did that answer your question? I don't know if I just ended up like fan gushing about how much I enjoy this big dummy.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
We all loved John Claude, and I think when we saw he was having a return, we were like, yes, he's coming back for another year. Because was it Mad Balls when he got
the pumpkin head during
yeah, he
Mad
became
Balls
the pumpkin.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see what crazy adventures John Claude goes on in this. And from what I've heard, there's a lot happening. So players, stay tuned for that really cool event coming up. Still on the horror vein thing, Matt, what kind of horror trope would you like to work into next year's event? And do you think John Claude might make another appearance?
I mean, we gotta go easy. Like, we do have like a little, like a joke, like glass cabinet of just like smash if you use too much Jean Claude, which is all the other like really fun characters that we have. But so maybe don't want to overuse him, but also now that we've got two, gotta have three to tick that box in my brain. So we'll see. I think that I'd love for us to do. I mean, just personally, I'd love to do some more vampire stuff. Like we have the Blood Fangs, and I'd love to see a return and play with those tropes more in a future Halloween update. I mean, vampires are just so fun.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, and the Blood Fangs too. I mean, you could really do kind of like a Lost Boys style thing going on there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Jean Claude is a Nosferatu. Who knows?
Maybe he makes an appearance in as a vampire. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where his future takes him. But he's got quite a lot of things to get through in this episode first. But yeah, really excited about that. Thank you for joining us today, Matt. It was great to get a bit more insight into the storyline, and it's just so funny where these start. You know, we are real people working on this game, and that's the fun thing about it. It's just like, oh, what started as a joke is now a full-blown storyline. So that was really cool. Thanks for sharing that with us.
I don't know if it's worth clarifying as well that like it is not just a jokey. I'd say that is an aspect of it I love, but it's also like we try to marry those sort of elements of having it be sort of a little bit more sinister, a little bit more as I think it said in one of the bits of copy that we had for it, the sort of visceral nature of like doppelgangers and this alien invasion. And I think having Jean Claude there as foil to this sort of gives that particular mixture, gives it that B-movie vibe. That's the last thing I want to say. Just before, I didn't want it to just be like, all jokes all the time, nothing makes sense.
Well, no, it's serious. It's scary.
I think too, what's really great is that, you know, as Alana said, you know, we are real people here. We're not just like making these games, like we are fans of these games, and we're like, you know, we live and breathe it. And you're right. Sometimes someone will just say a joke or a throwaway line in a meeting, and all of a sudden you can just see the wheels. You can see someone just feeds off that and everything. And I remember being in a meeting when we started talking about this, and I was laughing so hard I couldn't catch my breath about all the different like ideas people had for this kind of thing. So it was, it kind of starts off as like, oh, what if we did this? And then wait a minute, that's actually a great idea. Let's do that.
Yeah, definitely. And again, thank you so much, Matt, for coming onto the show. As well as this amazing Doppelganger event, which we're all super hyped for now that we've got the rundown. We have the new 2023 Chevrolet Corvette Z06, and that's the C8, and that's coming to this update. So burn rubber and race after race in the latest XRC event to get Yasmin's standards and earn this incredible new car. So 2 new cars coming to the update, a really fun storyline, and some really, really cool new artwork on one of our racetracks. So stay tuned for that coming soon. Thanks for joining us, Matt. Thank you, Sean, and we'll see you all at the starting line.